Next Tuesday is California's primary election, and voters will be contending again with what's often called the jungle primary. It's a rare bird. It's only used in 2 states, California and Washington. In a more traditional primary that most voters are familiar with, the Republicans would be running against other Republicans, the Democrats against other Democrats. But in the jungle primary, all the candidates, regardless of party, appear on a single ballot, and voters can choose whichever one they like. But the hitch here is that only 2 advance to the November election. The jungle primary was approved by voters in 2010. This was an idea that was promoted to bring more moderation to the candidates. The idea was that by having all of the candidates on a single ballot, they could cross the parties and appeal to votes to both sides, producing in the end perhaps a more centrist candidate. Whether or not that has worked out is very much in debate. Some studies that have been done suggest that perhaps there's not that much change. Others suggest perhaps a slight change, but it's really only been in effect a relatively short time. So I think for the most part, people are still waiting to see whether it worked or not. One of the ways it's working out this year is that Gavin Newsom, the leading Democrat in the race for governor, would like nothing better than to run against a Republican. This is a heavily Democratic state, and if he could run against a Republican in the general election, he would be the heavy favorite. Newsom has been running ads that talk about John Cox, the leading Republican, as being a supporter of President Trump and a supporter of gun rights and the NRA. So while this might sound good to Newsom's supporters, who would think, well, of course I want to support my Democratic candidate here, it also is a signal to conservative Republicans. By describing Cox as a Trump supporter, a supporter of gun rights, that lifts his profile with that group of voters.